Hey lovely people out there, welcome to my YouTube channel and thanks for clicking on this video. हमने अपने चैनल पे एक इम्पोर्टेंट सीरीज ऑफ लेक्चर स्टार्ट किया है and the name of that particular series of lecture is drugs which are acting on our parasympathetic nervous system. Now when we talk about the drugs acting on parasympathetic nervous system, we started with those drugs which increases the parasympathetic activity inside our human body, and such drugs are known as parasympathomimetic agent. Now, when we were talking about the basic classification of our parasympathomimetic agent, we classified our drugs into two important categories. The very first important category is directly acting parasympathomimetic drugs, and the second is known as indirectly acting parasympathomimetic agents. Now, in our previous video discussion, we saw what are the important mechanism of actions and the examples of drugs which are coming under the category of directly acting parasympathomimetic agent. Then हमने एक important classification देखा था and that was of about indirectly acting parasympathomimetic agent. We again subclassified this parasympathomimetic indirectly acting agents into further two categories. The very first one is known as reversible and the second one is known as irreversible. In our previous video discussions, we talked about the reversibly acting, indirectly acting drugs. So for this today's our video lecture is mainly focusing on our irreversibly acting, indirectly acting parasympathomimetic agent. So let's get started with our today's video presentation. So let's see what are all points we are going to cover in this particular video lecture. The very first thing that we are going to consider is the basic classification of our cholinergic receptor agonist. Then we are going to understand the basic concept regarding our reversible and irreversible acetylcholine esterases inhibitors, and then we are going to see what are the signs and symptoms of poisoning. So let's get started with our first important segment, that is about the basic classification of cholinergic receptor agonist. Now when we talk about the basic classification of our cholinergic receptor agonist, as I told you कि एक होता है directly acting drugs और एक होते हैं indirectly acting agents. So for this particular video lecture, we are mainly focusing on our indirectly acting drugs. So let us see how we can classify those indirectly acting drugs. So we saw in our previous video lecture about our indirectly acting reversible drugs. So in this particular classification, we are moving on to our second class, that is known as indirectly acting irreversible drugs. Now when we are talking about the indirectly acting irreversible drugs, we can again classify these drugs into two important segments. The very first one is known as organophosphate and the second one is known as carbamates. Few examples which are coming under the category of organophosphate are malathion, parathion, DFP, ecothiophate, and we have some important nerve gases. For example, we have tabun, we have sarin, and we have soma. Then moving on to our second important classification, that is carbamates. Now carbamates के अंदर we have three important agents. The very first one is known as carbaryl, the second one is known as propoxur, and the third one is known as LD-carb. Now ये जो organophosphates and carbamates होते हैं, ये actually में हम use कहाँ पे करते हैं? So remember one thing, ये जो organophosphates होते हैं and carbamates होते हैं, they are not widely used as the therapeutic drugs. So ये कहाँ पे use होते हैं? So they are mainly useful as an insecticide, except one एक example है, and the name of that particular drug is ecothiophate, and ये जो ecothiophate होता है, that can be useful in the some of the conditions of our glaucoma. Now let us see what are the basic important mechanism of action of our carbamates as well as of our organophosphate agents. So here, as you can see on your screen, here is the pictorial representation of the synaptic cleft. Now in this synapse, whenever this acetylcholine is present, this acetylcholine can work on its different types of muscarinic receptor as well as it can bind to our nicotinic receptor. Now do you think कि ये जो acetylcholine यहाँ पे जो synapse में present है that will be here forever? The answer is no. ये जो acetylcholine है ये degrade हो जाता है by the very important enzyme and the name of that enzyme is acetylcholine esterases. Now what is the main important mechanism of action of our organophosphates and carbamates? ये जो organophosphates and carbamates होते हैं they will bind with this acetylcholine esterases enzyme एंड अगर ये एसिटाइलकोलिन एस्टरेजेस एंजाइम को अगर एक पर्टिकुलर ड्रग इसको इनहिबिट करती है, डू यू थिंक दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर एंजाइम विल एबल टू ब्रेक डाउन आवर एसिटाइलकोलिन? द आंसर इज नो. सो सिंपली बाय ब्लॉकिंग दिस एक्टिविटी ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर एंजाइम कैन आई से कि जो साइनेप्स में जो एसिटाइलकोलिन का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है वो बढ़ जाएगा and because of that increasing in the level of acetylcholine there can be poisoning. Now what is the main difference between reversible and irreversible drugs? Now reversible drugs में हमने last time एक example देखा था and the name of that particular drug was physostigmine. So physostigmine भी यही particular enzyme पे जाके bind करता था एंड जो हमारे ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट्स होते हैं एंड कार्बामेट्स होते हैं वो भी इसी एंजाइम को जाके ब्लॉक करते हैं. सो व्हाट इज द मेन डिफरेंस बिटवीन रिवर्सिबल एंड इरिवर्सिबल ड्रग्स? रिमेंबर ये जो रिवर्सिबल ड्रग्स होते हैं उनकी एक्टिविटी को हम रिवर्स कर सकते हैं बट ये जो इरिवर्सिबल ड्रग्स होते हैं वो परमानेंटली जाके अब हमारे जो एंजाइम्स होते हैं उसको ब्लॉक कर देंगे. सो इरिवर्सिबल जो ड्रग्स होते हैं दे विल ब्लॉक दिस पर्टिकुलर एंजाइम परमानेंटली. नाउ अगर ये कोई ड्रग है, फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट्स एंड कार्बामेट्स, अगर ये ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट एंड कार्बामेट ये एंजाइम को अगर ब्लॉक करते हैं, कैन आई से देयर विल बी इंक्रीज इन द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ एसिटाइलकोलिन. एंड अगर बहुत ज्यादा एसिटाइलकोलिन अगर हमारे बॉडी में बढ़ जाता है then that particular condition is known as poisoning. So let's see that whenever there is OP poisoning or carbamate poisoning, what are the important clinical signs and symptoms of our anticholinesterase poisoning? So let's move on to our first important signs and symptoms and that is known as pinpoint pupil. Now ये pinpoint pupil why our OP and carbamate poisoning में पिन पॉइंट प्यूपिल क्यों होता है? सो वी नो कि इन आवर बेसिक वीडियो डिस्कशन हमने एक चीज पढ़ी थी एंड दैट वाज आवर ह्यूमन आईज दे आर हैविंग टू इंपॉर्टेंट मसल. द फर्स्ट वन इज नोन एज रेडियल मसल एंड द सेकेंड वन इज नोन एज द सर्कुलर मसल. नाउ व्हेनेवर वी आर स्टिम्युलेटिंग आवर रेडियल मसल व्हाट इट विल डू, इट विल प्रोड्यूस अ इफेक्ट दैट इज नोन एज मिड्रियासिस, यानी कि जो प्यूपिल का जो साइज है वो बढ़ जाएगा. बट वी आर नाउ फोकसिंग ऑन अवर एसिटाइलकोलिन. सो वी नो कि ये जो एसिटाइलकोलिन है दे कैन बाइंड टू अवर मस्करिनिक रिसेप्टर एंड इट कैन स्टिम्युलेट द सर्कुलर मसल विच इज प्रेजेंट ऑन अवर ह्यूमन आई. एंड हमें ये पता है कि whenever the M3 muscarinic receptor which is present on our circular जो मसल होते हैं, whenever this M3 receptor is stimulated, it produces a effect and that effect is known as meiosis. Now as I told you कि organophosphate and carbamate ये permanently enzyme को block करते हैं, so definitely जो concentration of acetylcholine होगा वो बहुत ज़्यादा होगा. That means can I say कि M3 muscarinic receptor of our circular muscle बहुत ज़्यादा stimulate होंगे. सो जो प्यूपिल की जो साइज होगी वो एकदम एक पॉइंट के तरह होगी. So that is why it is producing a very important sign and symptom, and that is known as pinpoint pupil. Now moving on to our second important signs and symptoms, and that is known as bronchoconstriction. Now why OP and carbamates, they are producing bronchoconstriction? So we know whenever we are discussing about the bronchi, I told you कि ये जो bronchi में जो muscarinic receptor present होता है, that is M3 muscarinic receptor, and whenever we are stimulating this M3 muscarinic receptor which is present on our bronchi, what it will do? It will produce a effect that is known as bronchoconstriction, and it will also increase the tracheobronchial secretion. So यहाँ पे जो second important sign and symptom है, that is bronchoconstriction. Now the third important signs and symptom is decrease in heart rate and blood pressure. Now the question is heart rate and blood pressure क्यों कम हो रहा है? So we know कि our human heart is very well decorated with our M2 muscarinic receptor. And whenever we were studying about the M2 muscarinic receptor, I told you कि ये जो M2 muscarinic receptor होता है, it is very well concentrated on our sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node and atria. Now whenever this sinoatrial node पे जो M2 muscarinic receptor present होता है, जब भी ये stimulate होता है, वहां पे जब हम उसे stimulate करते हैं, it will lead to negative chronotropic effect. And what is a negative chronotropic effect? Negative chronotropic effect is nothing but whenever our heart rate decreases, that particular effect is known as negative chronotropic effect. So यहाँ पे इसीलिए लिखा है it can lead to decrease in our heart rate. So the second question is यहाँ पे blood pressure क्यों कम हो रहा है? So whenever we were talking about the concept of blood pressure, at that time I told you कि blood pressure में दो important elements होते हैं. The very first one is known as systolic blood pressure and the second one is known as diastolic blood pressure. Now ये जो systolic blood pressure होता है, that is mainly dependent upon the cardiac output, and हमें ये पता है कि cardiac output का जो formula होता है, that is heart rate multiplied by stroke volume. So अगर heart rate कम हो रहा है, so can I say कि cardiac output भी कम हो रहा है? And अगर cardiac output अगर कम हो रहा है, then there is a decrease in our systolic blood pressure. इसीलिए यहाँ पे ऐसा लिखा है decrease in heart rate and decrease in blood pressure. Now moving on to our next important signs and symptoms, and that is diarrhea and urination. Now हमने ये पढ़ा था कि जो हमारे urinary bladder पे we have the good presence of our M3 muscarinic receptor. Now ये जो M3 muscarinic receptor, ये जो detrusor muscle होते हैं, वहां पे हमें ये पता है कि it is having a very good concentration. So whenever this M3 muscarinic receptor which is present on our urinary bladder, जब वो stimulate होते हैं, it will lead to pass of urination. So urination patient में बढ़ जाएगी. Now the question is why diarrhea? हमें ये पता है कि whenever in our body जब पैरासिम्पैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम की एक्टिविटी जब इंक्रीज होती है, it will lead to increase in the bowel movement, and because of that increase in the bowel movement as well as increase in the peristalsis, it can also lead to diarrhea. So इसीलिए it can also cause diarrhea and urination. Now moving on to our next important sign and symptom, that is increase in secretions. Now when we were dealing about the concept of muscarinic receptor, I told you कि जितने भी हमारे exocrine glands होते हैं, they are having a good presence of our M3 muscarinic receptor. So whenever we are stimulating M3 muscarinic receptor which is present on our different exocrine gland, वहां पे जो सलाइवेशन है वो बढ़ जाएगा, लैक्रिमेशन है वो बढ़ जाएगा, एंड ऑल्सो जो पर्सन का जो स्वेट है वो भी बढ़ जाएगा. So by stimulation of our M3 muscarinic receptor which is present on our different exocrine glands, it can lead to increase in secretions. Now the third, or we can say the next important sign and symptom is known as muscle weakness. Now the question is why it is producing muscle weakness. So हमें ये पता है कि ये जो acetylcholine है, it is having two important effect. The first one, it can stimulate our muscarinic receptor and also it can stimulate our nicotinic receptor. हमने निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर के बारे में जब हमने डिस्कस किया था, एट दैट टाइम आई टोल्ड यू कि देयर आर टू इंपॉर्टेंट निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर. द फर्स्ट वन इज एन टाइप ऑफ निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर एंड द सेकंड वन इज नोन एज एम टाइप ऑफ निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर. नाउ ये एम टाइप ऑफ निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर होते कहां पे है? सो एज यू कैन सी ऑन योर स्क्रीन, हियर आर अवर मसल एंड यहाँ पे ये जो एसिटाइलकोलिन है, जब ये यहां से निकलेगा, दिस एसिटाइलकोलिन विल वर्क ऑन अवर एनएम टाइप ऑफ निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर. एंड आई टोल्ड यू कि अगर हम निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर को, दैट इज एनएम टाइप ऑफ निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर को बहुत ज्यादा अगर स्टिमुलेट करेंगे, सो एक पॉइंट ऐसा आएगा दैट दिस एनएम टाइप ऑफ निकोटिनिक रिसेप्टर will fail to respond and उसके वजह से the person can feel muscle weakness. इसीलिए यहाँ पे लिखा है कि it can also lead to muscle weakness. Now moving on to our next important sign and symptom, and that is tachycardia and increase in blood pressure. Now I have a very important question for you. हमने अभी पढ़ा कि अगर ओपी या फिर कार्बामेट पॉइजनिंग होगी, एसिटाइलकोलिन का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बढ़ेगा, उसकी वजह से हार्ट रेट है. सो डेफिनेटली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द ह्यूमन हार्ट. सो हार्ट में अभी हमने पढ़ा कि हार्ट इज हैविंग M2 मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर. सो व्हेनेवर वी आर स्टिम्युलेटिंग दिस M2 मस्करेनिक रिसेप्टर, वहां पे क्या होता था? हार्ट रेट कम होती थी. बट यहाँ पे ऐसा क्यों लिखा है कि यहाँ पे हार्ट रेट बढ़ भी सकती है? दैट इज नॉट एज टैकीकार्डिया. एंड अगर हार्ट रेट अगर बढ़ा है तो डेफिनेटली ब्लड प्रेशर भी बढ़ेगा. सो फॉर दिस वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड अ बेसिक इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट. नाउ व्हेनेवर वी वर डीलिंग विद द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ऑटोनॉमिक नर्वस सिस्टम, एट दैट टाइम आई टोल्ड यू कि हियर इज अवर गैंग्लिया एंड हियर आर अवर प्री गैंग्लियोनिक फाइबर्स एंड दिस आर अवर पोस्ट गैंग्लियोनिक फाइबर्स. नाउ जितने भी हमारे प्री गैंग्लियोनिक फाइबर्स होते हैं, whether they are of parasympathetic nervous system or of sympathetic nervous system, they are going to release acetylcholine. Now जब preganglionic fiber से जब acetylcholine रिलीज होगा, definitely it is going to work on our different type of receptor. तो गैंग्लिया में कौन सा रिसेप्टर प्रेजेंट होता है? The answer is in our ganglia we have a very good concentration of our NN type of nicotinic receptor. So whenever this NN type of nicotinic receptor of sympathetic nervous system is getting activated, तब क्या होगा? Sympathetic nervous system है, so definitely जो neurotransmitter होगा that will be noradrenaline. And हमें ये पता है कि noradrenaline can work on our alpha 1 adrenergic receptor and it can also work on our beta 1 adrenergic receptor. And beta 1 adrenergic receptor कहाँ पे present होता है? The answer is beta 1 adrenergic receptor is present on our human heart. And what happens when we stimulate the beta 1 adrenergic receptor present on our sinoatrial node? It will increase the heart rate. And अगर heart rate बढ़ा, so once again cardiac output is equal to heart rate multiplied by stroke volume. So अगर heart rate अगर बढ़ गई, so definitely जो systolic blood pressure है वो भी बढ़ जाएगा. Moreover, we talked about the diastolic blood pressure. अब ये जो diastolic blood pressure होता है, it mainly depends on our total peripheral resistance. अब ये जो total peripheral resistance का concept है, we have dealt this in detail on our video lecture that is on autonomic nervous system, that is mainly focusing on our sympathetic nervous system. So वहां पे हमने ये बोला था कि हमारे जो arterioles होते हैं, they have a good concentration of our alpha 1 adrenergic receptor. So whenever this alpha 1 adrenergic receptors are stimulated, जो टोटल पेरिफेरल रेजिस्टेंस होता है वो बढ़ जाता है. And whenever total peripheral resistance is getting increased, there is increase in our diastolic blood pressure. So remember कि ये जो mainly जो poisoning होती है that is of OP poisoning and of carbamate poisoning, वहाँ पे tachycardia या फिर increase in blood pressure हो सकता है. But remember one thing, for stimulation of our NN type of nicotinic receptor, जो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन होना चाहिए वो बहुत ज्यादा होता है या फिर होना चाहिए. सो मेजॉरिटी व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द प्रैक्टिकल केसेस, टैकीकार्डिया एंड इंक्रीज इन ब्लड प्रेशर बहुत रेयर पेशेंट्स में दिखता है. सो रिमेंबर दिस. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू अवर नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट साइन एंड सिम्टम, एंड दैट इज इंक्रीज इन अ गैस्ट्रिक सिक्रीशन. नाउ इट इज क्वाइट लॉजिकल. वी अंडरस्टूड दैट अवर ह्यूमन का जो स्टमक होता है इट इज हैविंग अ वेरी गुड कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ M1 रिसेप्टर्स एंड इट इज हैविंग अ वेरी गुड कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ M3 muscarinic receptor. And whenever this M1 and M3 muscarinic receptors are getting stimulated, definitely there will be increase in the gastric secretions. So यहाँ पे इसीलिए लास्ट जो पॉइंट है that is there will be increase in gastric secretions might take place in the poisoning of our organophosphate as well as of the carbamates. So that's it for today's video lecture. In our today's video lecture, we saw the clinical presentation of OP poisoning and carbamate poisoning. Now in the next video lecture, we are going to talk about the treatment of OP poisoning as well as of our carbamate poisoning. So see you in the next video lecture. Till then, take care, bye-bye, have a good day.